What's up everybody? Over on Plague Invaders there is a new SSS City Alliance faction hero and it's Aqua Ruler, my bad. Just like Rejuvenating Queen, I'll do a brief introduction of the hero showing the skills, some interstellar combat, and then his exclusive toy. I am excited about this because City Alliance really needed a SSS frontliner. Sorry Armored Sage, but you are benched and most likely now forgotten. Let's get it. Kicking off the video, let's see his hero animation. I mean, he has a trident, there is a shark swimming around him. I mean, if he has a skill that controls fish, I'm not saying it's literal Aquaman, but it's Aquaman. Once again, the hero visuals, animations in this game are not disappointing. I really think they are getting better if you look at the older SSS heroes and compare them. Like, look at his t-shirt details right here, and I mean that jawline, oh my goodness. He is classified as a tank with exile mitigation. Starting off with his ultimate, Abyssal Exile, summons the colossal shark spirit from the depths to drag, and then the wording here is a little weird, but it drags the enemy into the deep sea and then exiles them for 4 seconds, grants yourself 5 seconds of damage mitigation. Upon the enemy's return from exile, they immediately suffer 1000% damage and are inflicted with a frailty state, reducing damage dealt by 50% for 4 seconds. Holy crap, this skill sounds ridiculous on paper. Couple things I want to highlight here. Number one, how does the shark determine what hero is going to be dragged into the deep sea to be exiled? Is it based off the highest attack or maybe whoever he is currently targeting? I will figure this out during the Hero Saga Interstellar testing. And then for number two, the 1000% damage can go up to 1200% and the exile duration extended to 8 seconds. That is high damage, and the ability to take out one enemy on the battlefield for 4 seconds, then eventually 8 seconds, is a huge game changer. This means it's going to become 4v5 instead of 5v5, and if it is targeting the enemy with the highest attack, the advantage is going to be in your favor so quickly. Damage mitigation, what is it? So 70% of the received damage will bleed out over, yeah, it's cut off here, but basically what I understand is you're not going to take the initial hit, but instead you slowly do over time. Exile means the target is unable to take damage, move, or be targeted. So because the target can't be damaged, it's really nice he does that immediate big 1000% damage hit once they return. Moving over to the next skill, we have Shark Charge. Periodically summon the shark spirit to protect, absorbing damage received in the next 1.5 seconds. After those 1.5 seconds, perform a shark charge with a trident to repel and deal damage with an additional 80% of absorbed damage from the shark spirit. He also enters damage mitigation for 5 seconds. So this is now the second skill that allows him to take damage over time. With a strong healer or healer combo, essentially you could just keep him at full or near full HP because the healers do damage over time healing. It also seems like the shark spirit does most of the animations, so I'm interested to see how this looks in battle. It also says the skill does knockback, so with the Shark Charge, this could be some nice disruption, but it depends on how big the skill radius is. Next skill, we have Shark Bite. Every 3 basic attacks, the Shark Spirit follows to bite enemies, dealing damage and applying I'm just going to say hemorrhage. For every 1 follow-up attack by the Shark Spirit, the next damage deals additional 20% of the enemy's lost HP. So this skill is really good on paper. Hemorrhage is one of the best debuffs in the game, I think. The amount of damage you get off this is ridiculous. It's why Stellar Archer can put up very high damage numbers. Any hero I see that has this and it becomes unlocked, I know will do at least decent damage. At level 3, it says it clears enemy damage immunity as well. If you weren't aware, Hemorrhage makes the target lose 5% of current max HP within 1 second. So it's instant damage basically and varies depending on the target's HP, so naturally if you use a hero like this on bosses, the damage numbers will go through the roof. And finally for his passive we have Soothing Force. The Aqua Ruler's attack inflicts Leech. Participating in kills or exiling enemies clears any remaining unrevealed bleeding damage from damage mitigation. So this is very interesting, and Leech is like a weird buff in this game. I really haven't been impressed by it right now. I've only done a few tests with the watch skill, but I'm not sure if Leech is considered healing, because if it is, that means heroes like Sublime Spear and Soul Guardian will be able to negate or reduce this. Let me know down in the comments if you know, because I don't do deep testing in this game. However, participating in kills or exiling any enemy clears his damage mitigation, meaning when he's hit, and he gets converted into that damage over time, the remaining amount is just wiped. I think this is a busted passive for him depending on how leech works, and definitely think he's going to be tanky, or rather say a beefy boy based off those muscles. Moving over to the Interstellar for some Hero Saga testing. So because this is my Plague Invaders account and I literally don't play it, I just do it to see what events are happening or new heroes are coming. I have very few heroes, so I'm going to do my best for some battle clips. I'm going to pair him with Sage since really that's the only comparable frontliner in City Alliance, and then just stack healers. Okay, so for the first fight to get the idea here, he seems really tanky, but you can see he turns himself into a shark as he performs the shark charge skill, which is quite neat. Seems to knock back the enemy a fair amount, but it doesn't look like it's an AoE knockback. So right here, he just uses ultimate. Wow, that animation is awesome. That shark takes up a decent amount of the screen, really nicely done, and he chose the enemy Miss Poison to exile. To me, that seems like he's targeting the enemy with the highest attack, but I'll do another fight to make sure. I also want to see the HP difference before and after. Okay, so Miss Poison's HP was full before exile, and oh my damn, look at the difference. Just remember, she can't take any other damage besides his damage when she comes back from exile, so this is quite impressive. Just him alone, looking at those stats, it's pretty crazy. It seems that the leech buff off his passive is doing decent work, as it's healing more than Field Medic. Oh man, poor Field Medic. I know she's a double S hero, but it's the only one I have on this account. It's just quite funny to see a tank doing more healing. Now to finish it off, I'm going to use Armored Sage and him. So I'm going to skip ahead here to the end of the fight, and you're going to see that surprisingly, Sage did do more damage, but there's RNG factors, blah blah blah. But it really wasn't by much more, and then when you factor in his damage taken and his healing, yeah, I think this hero, Aqua Ruler, is very impressive. And to check out his exclusive toy, Sharky Plushie, when this hero comes to Idle Survivors, if anyone on the team is watching this video, please make this plushie and send me it. I'll do cam with it, I promise. That sounded weird. For the exclusive effect, it has attack speed, which is good for his Shark Bite skill as it's based off every 3 basic attacks, so more attack speed, faster basic attacks, means more procs. Basic effects single target damage, but it also boosts his leech rate and even more boosted from the exclusive effect. So technically, with this exclusive toy, he could eventually have a permanent 45% leech rate and 50% temporarily. I'm very happy they chose to release heroes according to what the faction is lacking. We knew Bounty Association was lacking heals, so they introduced Rejuvenating Queen, and we knew City Alliance was lacking a tank, so here he is. I really like his animations. He seems to be really solid on paper. I'm definitely going to have to wait until he comes to Idle Survivors, as my account has more opportunity to do better testing, but I'm definitely going to be going for this hero. I'm not sure when he's going to come to Idle Survivors, as we're still waiting on the Rejuvenating Queen, but because Interstellar is now weekly, I think we can assume we will have him before or at mid-November. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this hero. As always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.